Welcome to episode 22 of DC Wood Reviews the Arrowverse. I'm DC Wood, and we are now on the final Arrowverse outing of the 2017-18 season. It's a brand new show. It is Black Lightning Season 1. Black Lightning's first season premiered on the 16th of January 2018, spanning 13 episodes and with the conclusion airing on 17th of April 2018. The show proved to be yet another hit for the CW and the Arrowverse, with the series premiering well over 3.5 million viewers, and the first season overall averaged approximately 2.5 million viewers a week. What does the show entail? Well, enter Jefferson Pierce, a high school principal and metahuman who once upon a time was the superhero Black Lightning, proudly defending the community of Freeland, Georgia, but countless injuries, near-death experiences, and growing older took a heavy toll on Jefferson. All this and seeing the heartbreak it caused his family ultimately forced Black Lightning to retire. 9 years later, Jefferson has long been divorced from his ex-wife, Dr. Lynn Stewart, and their two daughters, Anissa, teacher and activist, and Jennifer, high school student. Both of them have grown so much. Jefferson is a leading role model, renowned principal, and respected figure in the community. But things are far from being a bed of roses in Freeland. Corrupt and racist police are persecuting the people of Freeland, and the local crime gang known as the 100 have risen with a stronghold on the town. With his daughters caught in the crossfire, and Freeland more impressed than ever before, Jefferson Pierce must come out of retirement. Black Lightning must return. I didn't start watching Black Lightning until last year, 2020, when I was furloughed, and I needed stuff to take my mind off things. I'd hardly watched any clips of the show on YouTube prior to Crisis on Infinite Earths, which saw Black Lightning officially integrated into the Arrowverse in Season 3, so I really didn't know what to expect. Overall, Season 1 is a great outing. When Black Lightning was first announced for the CW, it was intended to be a standalone DC show, disconnected completely from Arrow, The Flash, Supergirl, and Legends of Tomorrow. This was the fifth DC superhero show picked up by the CW since Arrow started in 2012, and it was a wise move to keep Black Lightning apart from everything else to begin with. By being its own thing, Black Lightning Season 1 isn't burdened by having to adhere to the continuity of the other shows. And like Supergirl Season 1, when that show was on CBS, Black Lightning is allowed to shine on its own merits, establish itself first before even considering any crossovers. So how does Black Lightning compare to the other Arrowverse shows? Arrow was dark, gritty, and grounded. Flash was exhilarating and spectacular. Supergirl was sunny and optimistic. Legends was Doctor Who meet the Avengers. Black Lightning is definitely its own thing. Of all the CW Arrowverse shows, this is the most political, and it covers societal issues the most. Yeah, I'd say it does that more than Supergirl did in later seasons. Black Lightning is dark and gritty, similar to Arrow. There are some amazing special effects and metahumans, like the Flash, but it's all grounded in a way that really hits home for many viewers. Right away in the first episode, The Resurrection, Black Lightning is very bold in its handling of racial prejudice and corrupt law enforcement. When we see Jefferson, Anissa, and Jennifer get stopped by crooked cops in a scene that, unfortunately, is very true to life. And we see all manner of gangland violence, drug trading and prostitution, courtesy of the 100. You see it on news reports all the time, and it paints a very bleak scenario for the Pierce family. and the Freeland community, especially when there are so many good people in the town who are just trying to go about their lives, and unfortunately they live in a harsh, brutal and unforgiving world. But it all inspires Jefferson to once again take a stand and assume the identity of Black Lightning, to forsake any chance of reconciliation with Lynn in order to keep their children safe and make a difference for the people. Jefferson Pierce himself is a fantastic character and a true hero. And for those who know nothing about Black Lightning's comic book roots, this is another great introduction to newcomers. What makes Black Lightning all the more unique from the other Arrowverse shows is that a rebirth is where this character truly starts for us. Having seen the origins for the Green Arrow, Flash, Supergirl and all the Legends, Black Lightning has already had a lengthy career as a superhero, and he was forced into retirement. Now, almost a decade later, Jefferson's had to resume his alter ego for a world that needs him more than ever. It's a very similar premise to Batman: The Dark Knight Returns, and it's executed brilliantly thanks to the hero and the main lead. Jefferson Pierce is older and wearier than any other hero in the Arrowverse. Not only does he have to be careful with how he uses his powers and the fact that he's past his prime, but he's also a man who cares so deeply for his community, his family, and all the students at his school, greeting the pupils when they come to school, encouraging them to learn to be the best of themselves. The man is simply an inspiration in and out of costume, and he's loved and respected equally as a principal, a superhero, and a family man. The ramifications Jefferson faces, the persecution and violence he endures from the corrupt police in the 100, you feel for the man in every regard. And Cress Williams is another example of perfect casting for these shows. Cress conveys the character's depth and development beautifully. Like Arrow, Flash and Supergirl, Black Lightning has the supporting cast worthy of its main lead. Christine Adams is excellent as Dr. Lynn Stewart. Jefferson's ex, whose strict morals and pacifism conflicts with Black Lightning's antics. And yet, because of their children and everything they've shared in the past, Jefferson and Lynn can't help but be drawn to one another. Anissa Pierce, Nafessa Williams, and Jennifer Pierce, China Ann McLean, both of them are ace characters as well, especially Anissa, whose sexuality, activism and academic qualities do her credit. But because she's the daughter of Black Lightning, Anissa also goes on a tremendous journey throughout season 1, when she develops powers of her own and throughout the course of a season becomes the superhero Thunder. Anissa is a true badass, and she has a great relationship with Jennifer, another rebel with a cause herself, and one who also receives a great character arc this season. She develops powers herself, and that comes into fruition for the next season. And Jennifer also has a tragic relationship with Khalil, Jordan Calloway, who is transformed into the monstrous painkiller. Other pros, the legendary James Remar is here as Taylor, Peter Gamby, mentor, father figure, partner to Black Lightning. Gamby has great secrets that are unearthed throughout season 1. There's an insidious organisation called the ASA who are using Freeland as a breeding ground for their own metahumans. There's great plotting and structure throughout, and because Black Lightning season 1 is 13 episodes long, in comparison to the other Arrowverse shows, which are over 20 episodes per season, this one has much better pacing. As I said, the special effects are great. The costume design for Black Lightning, courtesy of Laura Jean Shannon, it's brilliant. I love the costume design for Black Lightning in the first 2 seasons. It's great, and the third season design for the suit is absolutely brilliant as well. The choreography and the direction here are so good. There are some really great fight scenes throughout, and it all climaxes brilliantly in the terrific season finale, Shadow of Death, The Book of War. And finally, there's Marvin Crondon Jones III as the big bad, the leader of the 100, Tobias Whale. This guy is the arch nemesis for Black Lightning, and the man is to this show what Wilson Fisk is to Daredevil. Brutal, manipulative, cunning, powerful, tragic. Tobias Whale is a real kingpin with a tragic past and an utterly ruthless crime lord who discards those who are no longer useful and with genuine love for only a select few. He's also more than a match for Black Lightning, and there's a real blood feud between the two dating back to Black Lightning's younger days. Thanks to Marvin's impeccable performance and the writing, Tobias Whale easily cements himself as one of the top 10 villains for the Arrowverse. As great as Black Lightning Season 1 is, as much as it gets the show off to a strong start, it is tough going because of the themes covered. It's not at all preachy. In fact, it's very purposeful. But this is an adult show, and it can be quite heavy going and intense. More than Arrow, more than Batwoman, certainly more than any of the other shows. And you feel as though Black Lightning is yet to fully realise its potential with its first season. Not like Arrow and the Flash. It's not entirely consistent either, and I would argue that Supergirl's first season was much stronger in comparison. And as fascinating and as malevolent as the ASA is in this season and the entire show, Martin Proctor, who was the head honcho representing the ASA here, ultimately Martin Proctor comes across as a Donald Trump parody, really. After I finished Black Lightning Season 1, I couldn't help but think of Marvel's Luke Cage Season 1. That was an absolutely fantastic show, covering similar themes. It had a great cast, and the perfect bad guy in Cottonmouth. Right up until the point where they killed Cottonmouth off halfway through the season and replaced him with the rubbish villain Diamondback, and stretching an overall story way too thin across 13 episodes. In my opinion, Black Lightning Season 1 is the outing that Luke Cage Season 1 could and should have been had the Marvel writers not lost their focus for Luke Cage Season 1. This is a terrific outing, another winner for the CW, the Arrowverse and DC Television. Black Lightning's here, chaps. No, wait a minute. Black Lightning's back. Overall rating, very good. 8 out of 10. So, what did you guys think of Black Lightning Season 1? Please discuss in the comments below. Please click like and subscribe. Thank you all so much for your continued support. Next time, we now enter the 2018-2019 period for the Arrowverse, and we will start with Freedom Fighters for Ray Season 2, and then after that, it will be The Flash Season 5. See you all then. Take care. Bye-bye for now.
This is for the street. Black Lightning's back.